Hey folks, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today I'm going to do something very, very exciting, which is looking at numbers. I know, the most joyful, YouTube videos ever, which is looking at numbers, but I thought it would be slightly interesting if we look at this a bit. So, we're on GenshinLabs.com, which, or lab, no S, and they do have revenue sheets for the banners released, right? At least for the iOS revenue in the China market, which, hopefully should be representative of what we could, potentially look across the board at with, right? So going by banner date, this is what, day 5, right? Which is where we're at right now with the Ayato / Venti banner release. And if you look at it, right, it's kind of hard to tell what this data is telling us because so far it's what, again, in this specific market, it's $12 million these two banners combined have sold, which if you look at it, you'd think, well, if you look at like the recent new characters, well, Yae Miko's at 8 million. Well, that obviously means Ayato greatly outsold Yae Miko, but not really, right? Because again, it is hard to tell because you have both Ayato and Venti combined over here, right? And if you say, well, that's easy, just split them in half, right? Well, you can't really do that either. You can't just split it as 50-50. That's not how it works, right? I mean, the second highest selling banner was Raiden and Kokomi at 19 million on day 5, and you can't just say, well, if you want to figure out how much Kokomi reruns sold, you just split that in half. 50% of 19 million is what? I actually don't know what half of 90 million is. Well, it's almost 20 million, so let's just say, I don't know, 10 million. Kokomi sold 10 million by herself, which would rank her as what, the 3rd, 4th, 5th highest, solo banner sold? No, obviously that's not how it works. Like, don't get me wrong, Kokomi's rerun definitely got much better sales than her initial release. Her initial banner release was a bit of a disaster, let's be real. It was not very good, and her rerun definitely sold much better because of the fact that people actually know or accepted her role as a support Hydra applicator. That's really good in that case, right? So I'm not saying Kokomi did not do well at all during her rerun. I'm sure she did fantastic, right, in comparison to her initial run. But that also doesn't mean that she did, she contributed to half of these sales, because let's be real, Raiden probably contributed to most of this, right? As you can probably tell with her initial banner being the all-time highest selling banner in Genshin, right? So she probably contributed a lot of these. So we don't actually know, right, how well Ayato sold in comparison to Yae Miko if looking at this, but it's not like being a combined banner is like could be a huge step forward, right? Because if you look at the banner before that, right, or the newest, I guess, character banner, it was Shenhe and Xiao, which Shenhe was a new character, Xiao obviously a rerun, and this didn't sell too well, right? It didn't sell too well. Just barely a bit higher than Yae Miko, which, that being the case, obviously that's not a lot. That's not a lot. I mean, it's below a lot of solo banners like Ayaka, Ganyu, right? Xiao, that's Xiao's initial run, right? Obviously the Venti runs, the Klee banner, for some reason, and then, obviously the other big ones. But it did also sell higher than stuff like the initial Zhongli banner, right? The initial Hu Tao banner, Ito, right, all these. So it is slightly interesting to see how these combined banners could actually sell, right? And maybe this is a, maybe it's unintended. I'm not accusing them of doing this, but it could be an unintended a result of, well, we're gonna release these new characters on dual, or on double banners, right? So it's hard to really for people to decipher, well, if this newly released character really did sell well or not, right? Again, I'm not saying they're doing this for this specific purpose, but it is could potentially be an unintended consequence of that, right? Cause you know, people could be out here trying to compare Yae Miko's banner sales versus Ayato's banner sales because of the, you know, big controversy with Yae Miko and her banner and her kit, all that stuff, right? Well, not so much her banner. Banner's fine, but the kit, right? And obviously the backlash in regards to that. And Ayato, on the other hand, it does seem like a more balanced character, right? He seems, I mean, so far from what I've been, you know, I mean, I pulled him. I think he's very, very fun to play, and I think he's, I feel like he's a very, very balanced damage dealer, right? But yeah, but for people trying to compare those, it's like, it's really hard to decipher, right? Because of the fact that one's on a solo, right? The other one's on a dual banner, limited banner, right? So maybe they didn't intend to do this, but that's just the reality of the situation that happens, right? Yeah, it's just people wonder, well, how much do players take into account in terms of how powerful the character is versus how much beloved the character is? Because as much as I love Ayato, I'm pretty sure Yae Miko's more popular, right? Which is one of the reasons why, despite her kit, she still sold pretty well, right? I'd say. And also, again, looking back at this Shenhe Xiao banner, it's also hard to infer too much from this, because if you look at the banner, right, it's Shenhe plus Xiao. The initial Xiao banner actually sold pretty well, right? It's what, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th highest, you know, selling solo banner, right? Which is a pretty good achievement, I'd say, right? That's over what, Ganyu and Ayaka's initial banners, which I'm slightly surprised by. But I mean, I know Xiao's popular, but again, in the rerun, it's like Xiao plus a new character, Shenhe, who's also pretty popular, right? I mean, people love Shenhe, right? I think this is a bit of a special case because, you know, the fact that Xiao's fine as a damage dealer, he's just not really up there in terms of, you know, if you're trying to put him up against some of the better, I guess, damage dealers in the game, right? Unfortunately. And Shenhe is great. She is also niche, right? She's also niche. Not everyone is going to utilize her that well if they don't have a main damage dealer, a main, you know, cryo damage dealer, right? They're just, you're just not really going to utilize her full potential, right? Again, maybe you can run her some like physical teams, but like, again, overall, if you want to utilize Shenhe's full potential, you want to run her in a cryo team. So I feel like that's a bit of a special case scenario over there, right? And what is that, that's the lowest selling double banner, right? And it's just very interesting. Like you have a new character in here with a pretty popular rerun character, and it has the lowest sales of all the double, you know, banners. You'd think something like maybe Eula Albedo maybe a bit lower, but Eula Albedo did much better, it seems, right? Ayato Venti obviously did really well. I think Ayato Venti could have done a bit better if it weren't for the, you know, Venti sucks narrative, right? That kind of goes on a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am definitely in the camp of, if you want me to pick one between Venti or Kazuha, which one, you know, would I go for? I'd unfortunately pick Kazuha, but again, Venti's still very, very good in its own right? And I mean, if you have the resources to get both, I'd say both would be nice to get. But yeah, that's definitely something, right? And then the other, you know, dual banner obviously being Zhongli and Ganyu. Zhongli, right? Especially after, you know, his buff, right? And then Ganyu is one of the top damage dealers in the game. And obviously riding Kokomi, we've went through that. So anyways, that's really this one, I guess. Just to you know, I guess it's a video talking about how we don't really know anything. But yeah, people just need to calm down a bit on the, you know, oh, Ayato completely outsold Yae Miko, or the other way where, oh, Yae Miko completely outsold Ayato, because if you divide 12 million by 2, that's 6 million, and Yae Miko sold more, which both narratives are not true. And if you want to factually try to infer something from that, you can't, right? Because you need to see their banners individual numbers, which doesn't happen because revenue charts are for how many gems you buy. It doesn't, can't track where you spend those gems on, right? Whether it's on stamina. It could also be, again, this probably also accounts for the gems you buy that you just refresh for like resin, which some people do, right? So anyways, yeah, that's really this one. Hope you all enjoyed, my guys. Think in the comments down below. Like these videos from our channel for some more Genshin Impact content. Just I think a balanced take. If I want to toot my own horn a bit for a relatively balanced character. So have fun, folks. I'll see you guys in the next one.